Chosen one, stop scrolling right now. This message is not for everyone, and if you are not meant to hear it, you will feel uncomfortable and leave. But if you are still here, it is because God is exposing a truth that explains your entire life. Listen carefully. There is a reason you feel drained around people. There is a reason crowds exhaust you. There is a reason friendships fade, relationships collapse, and solitude keeps finding you again and again. This is not social failure. This is not emotional weakness. This is not rejection. This is spiritual separation. And if you skip this message, you will continue blaming yourself for something God intentionally designed. Stay with me until the end of this part, because by the time you finish listening, you will finally understand why God removed you from people, why He isolated you, and why He refused to let you blend in. Before we go any further, chosen one, like this message right now. That simple action tells heaven, I receive truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because messages like this are not sent often, and missing the next one could delay what God is preparing. And comment 777 if you already know, deep in your spirit, that this message is for you. Now listen closely. Chosen one, you were never meant to be surrounded by many people. From the beginning, God wired your spirit differently. Your presence carries weight. Your words carry consequence. Your energy carries impact. And here is the truth most people never understand. People are not just people. They are spiritual environments. Every person you allow close to you exchanges energy with you, consciously or unconsciously. Their fears, their wounds, their jealousy, their confusion, their hidden motives. And chosen one, your spirit is not built to absorb chaos. That is why after social gatherings you feel tired for no logical reason. That is why you need silence to recover. That is why you sense things others miss. You are not antisocial. You are spiritually sensitive. And sensitive spirits must be protected. Chosen one, God did not isolate you because you were weak. He isolated you because you were dangerous to darkness. Light spreads. Truth exposes. And when you walk into rooms, things shift. Even when you say nothing. That is why people misunderstand you. That is why friendships end suddenly. That is why you outgrow people without trying. You carry clarity. And clarity makes confusion uncomfortable. God learned early that if He left you surrounded by the wrong people, they would drain you, distort you, or delay you. So He did something painful, but necessary. He separated you, not to punish you, to preserve you. Chosen one, most people survive by leaking. They vent, they complain, they seek validation. They attach to others for emotional regulation. But you don't leak. You hold. You listen. You absorb. You carry. And when too many people have access to you, your spirit becomes overloaded. This is why God restricts your circle. Not because you are unlovable, but because you are valuable. Gold is not kept in open fields. It is locked away. Now listen very carefully. God did not keep you single because you were unready. He kept you single because the wrong partner would have destroyed your assignment. Chosen one, relationships are not just emotional bonds. They are spiritual contracts. Who you attach to influences your decisions, your discernment, your peace, your destiny. And God saw something you could not see. He saw that if you attached too early, too emotionally, or to the wrong person, you would lose yourself trying to carry someone who was never meant to walk beside you. So He blocked it. Every almost relationship, every sudden ending, Every connection that faded without explanation. That wasn't rejection. That was divine interference. Chosen one, notice this. You feel lonely sometimes, but never truly empty. That's because God filled the space people couldn't. During your single season, He was sharpening your discernment, healing your attachment wounds, teaching you self-trust, building emotional independence. Most people jump from relationship to avoid themselves. You were forced to meet yourself. And that is why you are dangerous now. Chosen one, if this message is speaking to your spirit, do not ignore this moment. Like this message right now. It signals alignment and keeps this word moving. Subscribe and turn on notifications. The next part will explain why your circle must remain small even after your breakthrough. Or sakni no serbendirin suppen, if you are ready to stop questioning why you are different and start walking in it. Chosen one, now that you understand why God separated you, we must go deeper, because this part explains something you may have been quietly struggling with, even after you healed, even after you grew, even after you became stronger. Your circle did not expand. In fact, it became smaller. And that confused you. You thought, now that I'm better, shouldn't I have more people? But God was doing the opposite. He was tightening access. Not because something was wrong with you, but because something powerful was forming within you. Listen carefully. Why elevation reduces access, not increases it. Chosen one, most people believe elevation brings crowds. That is a lie. Elevation brings visibility, not intimacy. God does not allow many people close to those He is preparing to elevate because proximity gives influence, and influence in the wrong hands becomes sabotage. When God lifts you, people do not just see your light, they feel it. And not everyone who sees light wants to protect it. Some want to benefit from it. Some want to dim it. Some want to attach to it for status. Some want to compete with it. So God limits access before elevation, not after. That is why people fall away quietly. That is why conversations change. That is why invitations stop. That is why you feel less understood. This is not abandonment. This is security protocol. Why people misunderstand you more now. Chosen one, the more grounded you become, the less explainable you are to people who live in emotional chaos. You are no longer reactive. You no longer overshare. You no longer seek validation. And that unsettles people. Because when you stop explaining yourself, insecure people feel exposed. When you stop chasing approval, controlling people lose leverage. When you stop leaking energy, needy people feel rejected. So they label you cold, distant, arrogant, different. Let them. God did not ask you to be understood by everyone. He asked you to be obedient. The truth about why friendships end without drama. Chosen one, notice how many connections ended without a fight. No argument, no betrayal, no explosion, just distance. That is divine separation at work. God removes people quietly when they are no longer aligned with your frequency because dramatic exits create emotional attachments that delay healing. Silence ends things cleanly. You didn't lose people. You outgrew environments. And environments that can't grow with you must release you. Why God kept your love life restricted. Now listen carefully, because this part answers a painful question. Why did God allow you to feel ready, but still block relationships? Because readiness does not equal alignment. Chosen one, God was not preparing you for love alone. He was preparing you for partnership. And partnership requires emotional regulation, spiritual alignment, shared direction, mutual respect. God saw that if he sent someone too early, you would either carry them instead of walking with them, shrink yourself to maintain connection, or delay your calling to preserve comfort. So he kept you single, not because you lacked love, but because you carried purpose. Why solitude sharpened your discernment. Chosen one, solitude was not empty. It was instructional. In silence you learned to hear God without interference, to recognize peace versus excitement, to notice red flags early, to sit with discomfort without escaping. Most people never develop discernment because they never sit still long enough to listen. You were forced to. That is why you see through people now. That is why your intuition is sharp. That is why surface-level connection no longer satisfies you. You didn't become picky. You became aware. Why your next connection will feel different. Chosen one, when God finally allows someone close, you will not feel anxious. You will feel steady. No confusion. No emotional roller coaster. No need to perform. Peace will lead, not chemistry alone. Because what God sends will not compete with your calling. It will support it. And that is why everyone else had to go. The warning you must hear now. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Do not return to crowded spaces out of loneliness. Do not reopen doors God closed out of nostalgia. Do not shrink your boundaries to feel included. Isolation ends when preparation is complete, not when you are tired of it. Trust the timing. If this message is confirming what you have been living, not just hearing, like this message now. This tells heaven, I choose alignment over comfort. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Part 3 will reveal how God chooses who is allowed close to you next. Comment 777 if you are ready to stop resisting isolation and start honoring it. Chosen one, your circle is small because your assignment is heavy. And God does not entrust heavy assignments to crowded hands. Chosen one, now we arrive at a truth that will completely change how you see people, proximity, and access to your life. Because the real question was never why people left. The real question is why so few are allowed to stay. And the answer is not random. God has a filter on your life. Not everyone can pass through it. Chosen one, most people think closeness is earned through time. God measures closeness through alignment. Someone can know you for years and still not be allowed access to your inner world. Another can appear suddenly and feel familiar, safe, grounded. That is not chemistry. That is permission. God decides who gets proximity to his chosen, because proximity equals influence, and influence shapes destiny. That is why God watches who respects your silence, honors your boundaries, does not rush intimacy, does not compete with your calling, does not drain your peace. Anyone who pressures access disqualifies themselves. Chosen one, let me expose something clearly. People who are meant to stay in your life will not need to force closeness. They will not rush you. They will not guilt you. They will not manipulate your kindness. They will not resent your growth. They will feel comfortable with your pace. Because alignment never feels rushed. This is why God allows you to feel lonely sometimes, but never unsafe. Loneliness teaches discernment. Unsafe connection teaches trauma. God chose the first. Now hear this part very carefully. The closer someone gets to their purpose, the more selective their spirit becomes. You no longer tolerate shallow conversations, emotional chaos, inconsistent energy, hidden agendas. Not because you think you're better, but because your nervous system refuses to return to survival mode. You did not become cold. You became regulated. And regulation intimidates those who rely on dysfunction to bond. Chosen one. This is why God trained you through isolation first. Because anyone can be loving when they need something. But only the right people can love you without needing to consume you. God removed those who wanted access to your light without responsibility for it. Let me say this plainly. Some people wanted to be close to you because of your empathy, your wisdom, your stability, your ability to listen, but they did not want to grow. And God will never allow you to be a healing station for people who refuse to heal themselves. So he shut the door. Quietly. Chosen one. This is also why God warns you not to explain yourself. Explanation invites negotiation. Negotiation invites compromise. And compromise dilutes authority. God does not ask his chosen to justify boundaries. Boundaries are the proof of maturity. Now listen, this is crucial. As your next season approaches, God will not add many people to your life. He will add specific ones. People who speak truth without ego, bring peace, not confusion, match effort without competition, respect silence without insecurity. These connections will feel calm, not intense, clear, not addictive, grounded, not dramatic, because God replaces chaos with clarity, not excitement. Chosen one, you must understand this. Excitement fades. Peace remains. God sends peace when he is serious. This is also why your future partner will not feel like your past ones. They will not trigger anxiety. They will not make you question your worth. They will not distract you from purpose. They will walk beside you, not lean on you. That is why you had to learn solitude first. Now hear the warning. Do not reopen doors God closed because you feel misunderstood. Those doors closed because they could not carry the weight of who you are becoming. God is not removing people to hurt you. He is protecting the version of you that is about to emerge. Chosen one, the reason your circle is small is because your assignment is precise. God does not give precision tools to crowded hands. He gives them to steady ones. If this message just put words to what you've been living, like this message now to lock in alignment. Subscribe and turn on notifications because now I will reveal how to recognize who God is sending next and who to keep at a distance. Comment 777 if you are done questioning your isolation and ready to walk in discernment. Chosen one, your circle is not small by accident. It is guarded by design. Chosen one, now we reach the moment everything you have lived through finally makes sense. This is not the part where God explains why you suffered. This is the part where God shows you why it was necessary. Because isolation was never the end of your story. It was the filter. Singleness was never punishment. It was positioning. Separation was never rejection. It was protection. And if you are still listening right now, it means you have survived the stage that most people never make it through. Very few can endure being misunderstood without becoming bitter. Very few can endure loneliness without losing faith. Very few can endure silence without abandoning God. You did. And heaven noticed. Chosen one, God does not reward noise. He rewards endurance. He rewards those who stayed aligned when no one clapped. Those who obeyed when it cost them comfort. Those who remained gentle when life gave them every reason to harden. You were being trained for something that requires clarity, restraint, and authority. And now, the season is changing. You must understand this truth clearly, because he will anchor you in what comes next. When God isolates someone, he is not emptying their life. He is removing interference. Noise interferes with discernment. Crowds interfere with direction. Wrong attachments interfere with destiny. God stripped your life down to the essentials, so that when He rebuilds, nothing unstable remains. That is why everything false fell away. That is why shortcuts closed. That is why distractions lost their appeal. God was not trying to take things from you. He was trying to trust you with more. Chosen one, your solitude matured you. You learned to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. You learned to pray without emotional reassurance. You learned to wait without demanding explanations. That alone separates you from most people. Most people collapse when attention is removed. Most people panic when affirmation stops. Most people compromise when waiting gets uncomfortable. You didn't. You adjusted. You softened. You grew. That growth is what qualifies you for what is next. Now listen carefully, because this is the truth many people miss. God does not elevate people who still need crowds to feel safe. God does not release destiny to those who still confuse attachment with love. God does not promote people who leak energy into the wrong places. That is why He trained you to be comfortable alone. Not lonely, alone. Alone enough to hear Him clearly. Alone enough to know yourself honestly. Alone enough to walk without constant validation. You are no longer dependent on approval. And that is freedom. Chosen one, this is why your next season will not feel chaotic. It will feel quiet, but powerful. Doors will open without force. Connections will feel natural. Opportunities will align instead of overwhelm. Because you are no longer desperate. And desperation is the only thing that delays destiny. God waited until you stopped chasing outcomes. Only then could He trust you with influence. Now hear this carefully, because this is the warning and the promise together. As God begins to move you forward, more people will want access to you. Some will be drawn to your peace. Some will be curious about your clarity. Some will want proximity to what God is doing through you, but not all access is permission. Just because people notice you does not mean they are assigned to you. This is where discernment becomes critical. God is not sending many. He is sending specific. And you will recognize them not by excitement but by peace. They will not rush you. They will not drain you. They will not compete with your calling. They will respect your rhythm. Because God never sends chaos to accompany purpose. Chosen one, your future partner will not feel like a distraction. They will feel like reinforcement. They will not pull you away from God. They will not require you to shrink. They will not need you to carry them. They will walk beside you. That is why your heart had to heal first. That is why your attachments had to break. That is why your standards had to rise. God was not delaying love. He was protecting covenant. And now hear this final truth deeply, because this is what anchors you going forward. You are not meant to explain yourself to everyone. You are not meant to be accessible to everyone. You are not meant to be understood by everyone. Your life is not a group project. It is an assignment. And assignments require focus. Chosen one, the loneliness you felt was the cost of becoming emotionally sovereign. You no longer beg for attention. You no longer tolerate inconsistency. You no longer chase people who cannot meet you in clarity. That is not arrogance. That is alignment. And alignment attracts what belongs. Now let me speak directly to your spirit. The waiting season is ending. Not because time passed, but because you changed. The moment you stopped asking why me and started saying teach me, heaven leaned in. The moment you stopped forcing connection and started honoring peace, alignment activated. The moment you stopped resisting isolation and started using it, preparation completed. God does not move based on your frustration. He moves based on your readiness. And you are ready. Do not rush now. Do not lower standards now. Do not reopen old doors now. The calm you feel is not emptiness. It is space being made. And what God fills that space with will not require striving. It will recognize you. Chosen one, if this series has spoken directly to your life, not emotionally but accurately, like this message right now, this is not just support, it is agreement. Subscribe and turn on notifications. What comes next will build on this foundation, and missing it could cost clarity. Comment 777 if you are done questioning why you are different and ready to walk in it without apology. And most importantly, do not rush back into noise. Silence is still working for you. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared. You are not behind. You are positioned. You are not alone. You are set apart. This is the reward of endurance. And now, walk forward with peace.